On today's video, we get a little preview of my FM18 Beta Save. Didn't that all work out rather conveniently? Hello and welcome to part 25 of Gunning for Glory. I'm Kev, and coming up on today's episode, we're away against our FM18 Beta. That's what I'm plugging here. Our FM18 Beta team of Monaco in the Europa League, Champions League. Wrong save, it's Europa League with Deeping. Kev, wake up, it's early in the morning. It's not, it's the afternoon. This has been a bad start. We're playing Monaco, who we're then going to be managing next month, later on this month, as part of the FM18 Beta. And then we're also going to go up against this year's Beta team from the FM17 Beta, Liverpool. It's basically a big Beta sampler thing that we've got going on. Since you were last with me, we've had a little bit of a blip. Only in the EFL Cup, so we're not that bothered about it. But we did lose to Charlton, and we looked a little bit toothless in that game. But we came back with a vengeance in the second half against Huddersfield, and I'd like to think we can continue our good form against Monaco and Liverpool. We had a positive start in the Champions League, beating Galatasaray. Our league form, a little bit iffy. We are only 3 points off the top of the league again, so that's good. Lacazette stopped scoring after that first couple of games, though, which is less good. And now Sergio Aguero is the man when it comes to scoring goals in the Premier League, which is also a problem for us because Man City look like a pretty impressive team this season, as we saw in the last episode. So this is the team that we're going to be playing against Monaco. We're also going to have a little look at the Monaco team as I start preparing myself for the next save. So we've got ter Stegen in goal, a back four of Kolasinac, Christensen, Koscielny and Bellerin. Sanchez and Xhaka are in midfield. I should stop picking him because I can't say his name right. And then we've got Welbeck, Ozil and Lamar in behind, Iheanacho up front. But let's have a little look at the Monaco team as well. We don't normally do this, but I feel like it's important. So Falcao, he's there in real life, isn't he? He's going to be a rather handy player. We're going to build a team around him. Who else is there in real life? Tielemans, he's there in real life, isn't he? Still only 21. Interesting, still only 21 in game. Meets our transfer policy. Hasn't really been pulling up any trees for him, though. So anyone else I've heard of? Baldi? He's also there in real life, isn't he? He looks a bit good, judging by those ratings. He's someone who we're going to be worth having a little look at. Matinho, that's a name I'm familiar with. There in real life. There you go. See, it's all coming together now. Thiago Maia, not there in real life. Might be worth signing him, though, because he looks pretty good. In fact, only 21. Interesting. Scout him as well. They've got a Torre. Is he there? He is there in real life. Arsenal are always invincible when they have a Torre. And who on earth's this in goal for him? He's not there in real life, is he? Our former goalkeeper, Petr Cech. And Giroud on the bench for him. Okay, so we've sold most of our squad to Monaco. He had a good season for him. Put him on the shopping list. Interesting. Well, there you go. Hang about. Who's this? So, not only did Mbappe go back, but he was awful at Paris Saint-Germain. He's awful. He's only scored 4 goals in his career in this version of the universe. Presumably, he's going to get a little bit of a bump to his stats for FM18. But again, we need more wingers. Let's give him a little scout as well. That's a weird one. Interesting. Let's go play them. We'll see more from Monaco when I do my FM18 Beta Save, which people voted for over on my Twitter yesterday. If you didn't vote in that poll, then it feels like you should probably follow me on Twitter at twitter.com/lollujo. And then you can vote in future stuff like that as well. Oh, a beta plug, a social media plug. If only I had some merch to sell you, then we'd have the trifecta of running a business on the internet. Right, we need to get into this game now. Enough plug-in stuff, Kev. Let's focus on the football. And wonder why Xhaka's in the team when I still can't say his name properly. I think I had his name sorted when he was playing regularly like a season ago, but we didn't really use him at all last year. But for whatever reason, he's fallen back into favour this season with me. We've had a few injuries. Diawara being injured means he hasn't... I mean, last season, Diawara and Renato Sanchez pretty much played every single game. They were fully fit, no injuries, didn't really seem to need resting even, and they just played. When they were fit, they played. This year, not only has Diawara had an injury, Ramsey's had an injury as well. We tried Asensio deep, but in the end have gone back to Xhaka, and that's why I'm having to learn to say his name all over again. We've just gone 1-0 up though, which is reason to celebrate. Was it Iheanacho? I wasn't really paying attention. I just saw the goal go in. I think it was Iheanacho. We'll double check in 3D, but I think it went through Welbeck. Yeah, Welbeck then plays it into Iheanacho. That's a lovely first touch. I mean, he's made that goal for himself with that first touch. And we're 1-0 up away from home in the Champions League. Positive stuff. Would have been less positive if that free kick had gone in, but luckily it did not, although they are still pushing, but we do now have the chance to break free. And Iheanacho, again, a first touch that just destroys an opposition player, and this time, rather than finishing it off himself, he finds Ozil, who tucks it away. But Iheanacho is having a bit of a storm. He's turning into, dare we say, the world-class striker that we hoped he would be when we signed him. And he's really starting to show little glimpses of what he could end up being over the course of the first few games of this season, because he's still very, very young. There you go. Lamar gets a goal against his old club as well. He used to play for Monaco, didn't he? In fact, he's still there in real life, isn't he? So he's another one who will have in and around. Well, I tell you what, attacking-wise, I thought Monaco was supposed to have no players left but just a big pile of cash. It seems like they spent quite well in the summer after selling all these players, so it's not going to be the spendathon that I was assuming it would be when we decided to get involved with Monaco. All that being said, they don't seem very good because we're absolutely thumping them here, and they are rock bottom of this group as well on 0 points after 2 games, and we're about to go. Oh, we didn't go 4-0 up. They've got a good goalkeeper, but then they did get him from us. So how much weight can you put on that? I'm a little bit confused. If they're playing just the one striker and they've got Falcao, how did Giroud score 27 goals last season? Was he in the team ahead of Falcao? Were they playing 2 up front? Was Falcao injured? It's an odd one, because I just wouldn't expect Giroud to have played enough games to score that quantity of goals, but clearly he did. It looked like he was close to ever present, although now not in the team. Should we have a little nose at Falcao? Can we do it from there? No, that just shows my finances for some reason. That was weird. So, he also played 34 games last year. So, what it looks like is that they played 2 up top last year. And they've now changed their system. So, what formation do they play in real life? Full confession, I've never seen a Monaco match in my life. I don't really do European football. If I do, it's usually Spanish. So yeah, I have no idea the type of football Monaco play. I have no idea who their best players are, other than names that I know from either Football Manager or from hearing people talk about them. And I certainly don't know what formation they use. So we need to start putting a plan together for how we're going to turn Monaco into world beaters inside. I mean, we're probably going to have maybe 2 or 3 seasons on the Beta Save before we get started on Non-League to Legend. Maybe not even that long. Maybe we'll see how it goes. I think we did 2 seasons of Beta Save this year, didn't we? And then got started with Non-League to Legend. Did they overlap? I know the year before we overlapped Spurs as our Beta Save with the start of Non-League to Legend, the original, the first time round. I can't remember if I did that last year. Certainly won't be doing it this year, because we've got FIFA and Total Extreme Wrestling knocking around on the channel as well. We don't really have the capacity to run 2 different Football Manager series at the same time. Right, let's get Diawara on. And hopefully just see out this game. We've made 3 substitutions, and I think the 3 of them have definitely improved the team that we had out there. So, there you go, Dembele finally has his first goal for the club. 2 minutes after coming off the bench. The big summer signing, the guy who's keeping Gabriel Barbosa off of our bench again, despite me telling him this would be the year. And again, it's made by Iheanacho, and there's just not a chance Dembele is missing from there. And we're 4-1 up. We are absolutely taking this Champions League group by the scruff of the neck and announcing to everybody that we're winning this group, and be afraid of us in the knockout rounds, because we're coming for you. I imagine that's what 4-1 says to me. I assume that's what it says to you lot as well. That was a good result. Now we're going to go and play Liverpool in the Premier League and hopefully have an equally good result. And it looks like Barbosa gets to sit on the bench for that as well, because Dembele's picked up an injury. Just a couple of changes for the Liverpool game. Then Iwobi comes back in on the left wing at the expense of Welbeck, and Diawara re-establishes his rightful spot alongside Renato Sanchez in midfield. Let's get into the game, and we don't need to look through the Liverpool team because all we know is Kev doesn't know how to manage Liverpool properly. Because if you haven't watched the FM17 Beta Save that I did yet, spoilers, I got sacked just after Christmas of the first season. Did end up going to manage Everton though, and that turned out really rather well. So, you know, it all turned out right in the end. I can manage a club from Liverpool, just not the red one. So that's an experiment I'm unlikely to ever try again. It goes on the list with Tor as clubs that I'm never, ever, ever going to go back to because of horrible memories and bad experiences with them. Right, as it stands right now, we're 2 points behind Chelsea, but we have played an extra game compared to what they have. I can't speak today. What is wrong with my mouth? It's not forming words properly today, which is, I mean, it's a challenge for my job, you know, but hopefully we'll work for it. Lamar's in. We go 1-0 up, and that should put us top of the league. Puts us second in the league because we're behind Chelsea on goal difference. How? How are we behind anybody on goal difference? We've scored 4 goals in our last 2 or maybe 3 games. Hopefully we continue that run today and score a big enough pile of goals to go top of the league, at least for a little while, at least until Chelsea and Man City and Man United play their games and we fall back down to 4th. But it would be nice. To end the episode top of the league and just assume everything is all as it should be here at Arsenal. We're going to win the league again. We're going to win the Champions League, and we're going to end the save as the finest team in world football, with an average age of about 22, which I think is a pretty good achievement, regardless of whether we make a net transfer profit or not. We're still trying, although I have just made offers for Tielemans and Mbappe, so that'd be £150 million for a player if that comes off. So, they have rejected the move for Tielemans. Mbappe might happen. Don't sign Mbappe, Kev. You don't need any more wingers. Although Ozil's just got himself an injury. It looked like a stretcher injury. This looks like a proper injury. So we might actually need another attacking midfield player if it's a serious injury. Asensio comes on for now and he's licking his lips at the prospect of getting a little run in the team, but also rather intrigued about the current developments. Dembele and Welbeck and Gabriel Barbosa and all these people who could go into the right-hand side of midfield, allowing Thomas Lemar to move across into the middle if Asensio doesn't take his chance in this second half. So the vultures are surrounding the corpse of Ozil. He's not dead. He's just hurt his groin. But they're picking at his bones. He's not dead. But they are trying to get his place in the team. Right. We're still only 1-0 up. We've had an injury. Probably a serious one. Because it's a long time since I've seen the stretchers come out in Football Manager. It might just be that I don't normally pay attention, but we don't generally suffer with really serious long-term injuries. But Ozil's getting to that kind of age. He's 29 now, I think, in game. So he's getting on a bit where if it is a bad injury and it keeps him out for a chunk of the season, he might never be the same again. And it's now 1-1. The players are affected by it. We'll blame Ozil. Let's make him the scapegoat. He's been our star man for a year and a half, but let's blame him anyway. And, Origi. He brings back bad memories because I couldn't get him playing properly. Or any of the Liverpool's. Are you kidding? Because I said we don't get injuries, the game's going, you know what, he's right. Let's fix that. Let's put him in his place. Give him a few injuries today. Bellerin's a massively significant one because if we lose Bellerin, we do potentially have a bit of a problem because he's a really important player for us. And Iwobi not playing well either. Welbeck can come on for the last 10 minutes. We don't even have Dembele on the bench today. The wheels are coming off again. We were top of the league a minute ago. Literally a minute ago, but the wheels are coming off. We could go top of the league again now, but it all feels like it's going wrong. And Origi's in and crosses, and it really is going wrong now because we're going to end the episode 4th. That's much worse than ending the episode 1st. 4th place, 2 potentially serious injuries. In the space of 2 minutes, everything's flipped around on its head. This is because I tried to plug my new series, isn't it? I knew the YouTube gods would be out to get me for trying to do some cross promotion. Of course, if you haven't already, you should subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on that series when it comes out. But still, we were not even... Liverpool were comfortably the better team in that game as well. So Ozil is out for 2 months with a hip injury. See, told you he was getting old. And Bellerin is out for 2 months with a torn hamstring. We don't really have a backup right back. Problems. If you've enjoyed that, please make sure you pop a like on there for me. Subscribe to the channel if you'd like to see more. And thank you very much for watching.